Folks may have come and gone, but Pat Moore and I could always count on your hard work to make our dream come true. I may have referred to us as the stubborn three, but that's what it took to get the park open. On behalf of all the dogs and dog parents who use the park, I say thank you. On behalf of Paige Faulkner, Marlene Miller, Kara and James Russell, Don Lott, Pat Moore, and myself, you will be missed. Rich Lowe sends his greetings. And the gift is a Buchanan Heritage book and a gift card for her to use. And her last paragraph is, on a personal basis, I want to thank you for your friendship, and Little Bits and Coco are looking forward to an Ohio road trip next spring. And don't you dare donate your gift card to the dog park. Thank you, Jackie Lau, former Dog Park Chair Committee.
She's right when she said that we were kind of stubborn. We didn't give up on it. Many yard sales, selling ice cream bars, selling hot dogs, going to people's houses and picking up stuff for us to sell and make money, mowing the dog park, trying to get it set up and ready for everyone to use. I am tickled pink that it was accomplished. We have people not only from Buchanan using it, but Niles, Galene, South Bend. Everyone loves our park because all the other parks are smaller. The dogs have plenty of room to run around, and we have the area for the small dogs as well. I'm hoping that this committee will continue to improve the dog park, and my dream is, and I hope I can help with that, is to have agility objects, you know, where they climb over a bridge or go upstairs or go through a tunnel. I think that would be really great. And if we could do that, we have a chance to bring in some professional shows with dogs to come in, and we certainly have the area for parking to do that. So I thank the dog park. Jackie, thank you very much. And I will spend it on me, not the dog park, I promise. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. All right, and with that, it's time for city manager's comments. Bill?
Actually, the recognitions aren't over yet. I'd like to recognize Brenda Hess, who will be leaving us, and again, both as a commissioner and as a mayor. I personally can say I've really enjoyed working with her. She's been nothing but a motivator, full of energy, trying to pursue positive and good things for the city of Buchanan. Some of her signature items are the little free libraries that we see in the parks that my grandkids enjoyed just a couple of weeks ago, going through and picking out some books to take home and read, which they did. And so that's a very positive move in the right direction for the city. Again, I have to say I've enjoyed working with her back and forth. I keep her informed of activities as we move forward. She's been a very good diplomat for the city, as every mayor should be, and she has definitely fulfilled that role in those shoes. So I also have a plaque to present to her. Again, she became a commissioner to fill a vacant seat in June 22nd of 2015, and she remained a commissioner until, and still is a commissioner, until November 14th of 2016, where the commission moved to vote her in as mayor of the city of Buchanan. Brenda has served on several boards, the DDA board, the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, the Election Commission, Board of Review, SMEGA, And she was instrumental in forming the Buchanan Tree Friends. And that is a group that I think will become much stronger and very beneficial to the city of Buchanan, since we are a Tree City USA. Trees will continue to be an issue for us on how to better manage those, the vintage trees that we have in town, their conditions, and I'm happy to have that support of the tree board to help the city in moving forward with that. I have a plaque here as well. Brenda Hess, in grateful appreciation for your dedication and service on the City Commission from June 22nd to 2015 through November 14, 2016, and as she served as mayor for the City of Buchanan, November 2016 through October 22nd, 2018. So, I'd like to.
Thank you. Because everyone knows that I didn't really not want to be mayor anymore. It's been my honor and privilege to serve Buchanan for the past 3 years. Oh, maybe somebody should come read this for me. This is my friend Sabine, and she's been my biggest cheerleader and like is my big help. I'm just afraid I can't get through it. Thank you.
Hopefully I can. It's been my honor and privilege to serve Buchanan residents for the past 3 years. Buchanan has such a great mix of people, and one of the best parts of my time in public office has been meeting and getting to know so many people, from the youngest to the oldest residents. I have learned something from each person. I'd like to thank everyone who supported and encouraged me over the past 3 years. City employees, city staff, commissioners, residents, business owners. Thank you all. Mostly, I would like to thank my family. It keeps going? Yes. Holy moly. My family and friends. When you're the mayor, the meetings, gathering, events, and responsibilities take up a lot of your time. I'm so glad you all have had patience with me. Thanks especially to my husband, who not only came to a lot of city functions, he also made an awesome Santa. Sorry about all the dinners I missed. You're the best. Sorry about all the books. In closing, I would like to say that Buchanan is the best little city in all of Michigan. I hope that my time as mayor was positive for the city. Thanks for letting me be your mayor.
And again, thanks.
I'll continue with a few comments, unless, Mayor, you have any more words? Or
Nope, I'm good, and I really do want to thank everyone. It really was my honor and pleasure, and being the mayor was just something I'll never forget, and I'll never forget Buchanan. And don't worry, I'm only going into a short retirement, and you'll see me very soon with the Little Bucks bookmobile and passing out books to all the children again.
Commissioners, in front of you are a water bottle. Those water bottles are part of about 1,100 of them that we had purchased through the Wellhead Protection Program and grant. We do have a Wellhead Protection Committee that kind of monitors and oversees the property that where we get our water from. that aquifer. And that area is south of US 12, through the Fen up to where our water wells are located presently, and they're about, it's about 3/4 of a mile wide. And that's the aquifer that we get most of our water from. And we use 3 wells to tap that aquifer. We have a 4th well that is located out in the Fen. It takes into another aquifer, but that's our deep water well. The quality of water out of there isn't as good as the 3 wells that we've had in existence in the city. So these bottles are a gesture out to our high schoolers, middle schoolers, to understand and use the bottles in their refill stations. Again, environmentally saving a lot of plastic bottles going in our landfill by our providing these bottles to them under the Wellhead Protection Grant that we applied for and received. And we apply for that grant yearly. It does provide us about $3,600 in funds that have helped us designate that area with signage, trying to educate people who have water wells that there's a proper way to seal up your well so contaminants don't get into that aquifer and contaminate our water source. Let's see, the other item I have is that the leaf season is upon us, and we will be starting on the 29th with a schedule which we have posted up on our Facebook page, so the community can kind of get a general idea of where we'll be working, and hopefully they can coordinate with those pickups and their efforts to get the leaves off of their property. I know we did a little extended brush run today and probably tomorrow with the wind that we just had this last weekend. A lot of brush fell, a lot of twigs, limbs fell in the city, and again, people put that out by the curb, and they call us, and we go around and collect those the limbs. And again, that forestry truck is a big part of that. Our chipper is on the back of that, so we maneuver around the town and pick up that brush. A couple of other interesting items coming out of the BARB meeting, which were part of your briefing. We have a new group that's kind of formed. It's called the Buchanan Youth Football and Cheer Group. They've been around for a while, but they've made the next couple of steps to get better organized. They were recognized by the board, or by the BARB, at their last meeting. They're pursuing using one of our softball fields out of the McCoy Creek Recreational Facility and converting that into a Rocket football field. Actually, 3 small fields for the little tykes that you know, put on the pads and helmets and go out there. And part of that program is a flag football organization. So you'll be hearing more about that as they get farther on down the road. They were asked to put in a site plan, submit a site plan to us, and we'll get that in your hands. The other group that confronted us was there's a interest in disc golf. Also in that area, it's a pretty popular sport that is going on, and there's plenty of area out there that they could easily create a 9-hole disc golf course in and amongst the Centennial Park, the softball field area, and along the McCoy Creek Trail. They also are going to submit a site plan where they'll put these baskets. Again, this is a group that's, as we work with every group that has their own interest. They are willing to champion their interest, and so far they have commitments on funding those 9 baskets for this course. So you'll also see that come out of the BARB, I believe, as a recommendation for your consideration. So that's all I have.
Okay, great, thank you. Moving right along to commissioner comments. We'll start with Commissioner Dan this evening.
I wore black because we're all leaving, so that's about all I got to say.
Okay. Commissioner Turney?
Thanks, Your Honor. First off, I'd like to thank the employees who do the easement in the back of the Ottawa Court. They did a fantastic job. I just want to count that out, and also the quick service and all the wind damage from the employees of the city. They did another outstanding job, and I really appreciate that. Also, at the last Planning Commission, I believe I counted about 38 citizens, which was a good count for the city, on the 10-year master plan. So I'm hoping that when we have our next planning commission, because there's going to be other phases for the 10-year master plan, that more citizens might come involved and answer questions or bring up questions, because this 10-year plan is for you, so we're looking for input from the citizens of Buchanan. I also am very, it's really neat to see that the disc golf is possibly coming. I think Niles has one, because we played over there a couple of times, and it's an inexpensive sport that people can take up, so that is a good thing. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Carla, first off. Carla, when I first came to the city was at its low point. So you've seen the low. You've seen it come up to medium standard, and right now we're at the best that I've seen it since I've been here. So I appreciate all the assistance and goodwill that you've done. Brenda, there's not much I can say other than I really think that you've been a very good mayor, and you've done so much for the city. Your personality is this unreal, your thoughtfulness, your intelligence. I think you're a great leader for the city. I will miss you. And thank you for taking that giant leap and coming here.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, Commissioner Moore?
I did want to bring up the Make a Difference Day, which was held a couple weekends ago, and acknowledge the leadership that Ashley and Brittany had. It was nice to see how many people, especially young people, turned out to help, and definitely the changes were visible that people worked on, the projects that they worked on. I wanted to also just encourage everyone to please vote. This is what our democracy is about. And this transition that's going to happen between now and the next time we get together will be a large change. And so it's going to be in a big adjustment for a lot of people. So but that's part of how our system is set up through our charter. So please vote, speak your mind, be part of the change, be part of the solution. And I wanted to say the best of luck to my friend Carla and my friend Brenda. And I think you both have left a huge legacy. Carla really took over in a very difficult situation when we lost Barbara Clark, who is the mayor after me. And she handled the press, she handled interviews, she handled a transition that none of us want to ever see happen again. And she did it with trying to calm a lot of potential disruption. So she's weathered the storm through a lot of times. And Brenda has brought us that youthful exuberance, and they both are committed to youth. Carla's been a 4-H leader for years, and Brenda is dedicated to helping children read. And you can't get much more democratic than that. You can't participate if you can't read. So please vote. Let's bring more people like these two. We've been so lucky to have both of them. I applaud you both and thank you both for your service. And on a medical note, please get your flu shot, because I don't want to get the flu from any of you people, okay? So that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Cole?
Mayor Hess, I just want to say that you've done a fantastic job. You've done so many things, been on committees like I have been in the past, and Commissioner Moore has done. The tree committee, keep that going. We really need it here. And don't forget the dog park needs a good tree or two.
Yes, we'll talk after the meeting.
The fur babies, they would like a little shade there too, because there's no shade to really speak of there. So we need to keep that park going. I'm so proud of that park, and Mayor Moore and I and Jackie Lau worked so hard, so many years to get that going, and to see it to be the success that it is today is really fantastic. I want to wish good luck to all the people running for the city commission. It takes up a lot of your time. You can't keep everybody happy, so, you know, get that armor on, because you're going to need it, because not everybody's going to be happy with what you do. Be honest, think on your own, don't listen to other people telling you what to do. You need to do it on your own to figure out what direction our city needs to go in. This is a fantastic city. All the years I was mayor, we're well known all over the state of Michigan, if you don't realize it now. Our Thrill on the Hill put us on the map. All the activities here that we have in Buchanan, family-wise, the Summer Thrill. So many times I was asked, how do you do it? How do you put all this on in that little city, that little town along US 12? And it's because of volunteers, and we have some in the audience here tonight. If it wasn't for the volunteers, we couldn't do a lot of that. We couldn't have done it without a city manager who is willing to take an idea and run with it. And we now have 2 thrills, and I think the summer's taken over the winter, actually, which is a shame. We've had good winters, and we've had some really bad ones, but you know what? The kids were still smiling, even though they were sliding in mush, getting up wet, and I'm sure Mom and Dad are going, oh, you know, sick kid tomorrow. I'm very proud of that part of our program. We try to do things that go with the family. The whole family can come and join in and do this together. And that's what the city's all about. Being a family, having fun, and taking care of our citizens here. And Brenda has brought that too, with a little free library. My goodness, I've donated so many books. She's been involved in so many things. She came on, and sometimes took things to her heart too quickly. It takes time for that armor to get built up, you know? But I wish you the best on your new journey and your new life that you're going to be going forward with, and I know you're going to stay involved somehow within the city. So I thank you for all that you have done. With the medical marijuana that came on, I felt so sorry for her. I'm going, oh gosh, what did we do to this poor girl? But she made it through, and we got that program going, and I'm very proud of that part of it too. And I thank you for sticking with it and helping getting that put together. That's all I have.
Thank you. Well, I guess these are my last comments as mayor. I want to thank again everyone who supported me, who encouraged me, who disagreed with me but did it in a respectful manner. We live in really divisive times, and you can't serve your committee or you can't serve your community if you're only thinking of yourself and your own goals. You have to recognize that you serve every single resident, whether it's a kindergartner, whether it's an octogenarian, whether it's a business owner or someone barely making it to get by. When you sit in this seat, you represent all of those people. And I tried every day to remember all of the people that I represented, you know, not just my friends, not just my neighbors, but everyone. And I hope that the next commissioners will continue on with that fine tradition of listening to community members and taking to heart what they have to say, and always thinking of what the impact of your decision-making will make on future generations. I was very surprised about medical marijuana. I honestly didn't know it was a thing. I was sitting here at my spot, and a man was sitting in the back, and he kept sitting there through the whole meeting, and he got up, and the people from the press used to sit over there when I was a new mayor, and they were all packing up, and this man said, "I would like to open a medical marijuana facility." I have never seen two people unpack a backpack and get a pen and start writing, and this is your kind of naive mayor going, "Oh," I'm sure the look on my face kind of said it all. But that was a really great learning process for me, and I'm glad that I got to spend that time learning about medical marijuana, and I'm hoping that it will provide relief and support to our citizens who have major health problems as well as our veterans with PTSD. I encourage everyone to continue to not only be involved in city life, but pay attention to what your Michigan State Legislature is doing. So many times the state passes new legislation, and they're called unfunded mandates. So I'll give you an example. One of our latest ones is because of the Flint water situation, we're now required to replace water pipes going right into people's homes. But the state hasn't given us any money to do that. It's the right thing to do, but they've not given us any money. So we are on the hook to pay for all of those things. One community got a quote, and it was going to be $7,000 per house that they have to replace the water system from the street into the person's home. You have to watch your state legislature. They pass a lot of things that Buchanan has to pay for, but they don't provide funding. And at the last economic downturn, they cut their revenue sharing with us down to like barely making it. That money should be coming back to us by now. That happened in 2009. It's almost a decade later, and they are not giving us our money that we pay in our state taxes to keep our communities going. So I encourage you as citizens to keep an eye on your state legislature, what they're doing. You can go to michigan.gov and follow any bill on anything you're interested in and find out how the fine folks we send there are voting or not voting. And I encourage you to do that, because what happens in Lansing, we sometimes forget. We're busy taking care of our community and living our regular lives, but please take a notice of what happens at the state level. I really encourage you to do that. And once again, it's been my honor to be your mayor, and I hope to keep seeing everybody around. And thank you so much for your support. And I hope, because I was the mayor, life got a little bit better here under my mayorship. So thank you, everyone. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.